You know, the dust generated by the reinstatement of a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, as the Emir of Kano may not have settled after all. A federal high court sitting in Kano has granted an order suspending the implementation of the repealed Kano Emirate law. Now, the Sarkin Dawaki Babba had gone to court to stop the government's decision. He joined the state government, the state assembly and speaker, the attorney general of the state, the commissioner of police there, and the inspector general as respondents in the suit. For Kano State, the way home is still a long way off, as the governor presented a letter, the letter of appointment to Muhammadu Sanusi as the emir. Let's share the moment with you. Let's go there.
Let me say that your reappointment to the coveted throne of Mali Ibrahim Dabo was guided by our collective and careful judgment about your competence, credibility, proven intelligence, and your popularity, not only in Kano State or Nigeria, but across the world. Accept the assurances of my esteemed regards and best wishes at all the times. Congratulations once more. Allah the person.
Yeah, Judy, let's go to Kano.
Yeah. I was told that Sanusi came into Kano yesterday, Muhammadu Sanusi, the second, and he received his particular appointment today. And he led Jumat prayers today at the government house.
Okay.
They expect him to move in maybe before the end of today, but the governor made the point clear that the sacked emirs have 48 hours to move their things out of their palaces. So, and 48 hours expires tomorrow. So I don't know whether some of them will have moved their things quicker than 48 hours. What is happening in Kano is an unfortunate situation. Unfortunate because wayward politicians have found a way to desecrate the traditional institution. This is the truth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm not interested in who is emir. I'm not interested in who is emir. If it's Sanusi, fine. If it's
after all, as they say, you don't have any dog in that fight.
Well, it's not. This is not of interest to me. What is of interest to me is that we keep the traditional institution untainted and undiminished by the selfish politicians who are all over the place. This, when I was doing my research, I saw that Sanusi is the grandson of Emir Muhammadu Sanusi. Who is Muhammadu Sanusi? Is the son of Alhaji Muhammadu I, Chiroman Kano. And Chiroman Kano is the son of Muhammadu Sanusi. What I'm saying is, this is one family. It's the same family where that is locked in this unfortunate situation. Aminu Adobaero, who has just been deposed, is the son of Alhaji Adobaero.
All right.
Alhaji Adobaero and Muhammadu Sanusi I are both children of Seriki Abdullahi Bayero. Again, Both Aminu Ado Bayero and Sanusi Lamido Sanusi were brought up in the same house, in the same palace, by Alhaji Ado Bayero. 4, Sanusi Lamido is married to the younger sister of Aminu Ado Bayero, the person who has just been deposed.
Wow.
When you look at everything, it is clear that this is one family that is being shamelessly divided by politicians. I'm sure that if not because of the quarrel between Jonathan and Sanusi, and then Jonathan and Kwankwaso's government, Kwankwaso would never have made Sanusi Emir. All he wanted to do was simply to spite the Jonathan administration.
Okay.
And when it was time to replace Ado Bayero, it was Sanusi Ado Bayero that was chosen by the kingmakers. In fact, Muhammadu Sanusi had congratulated him via Twitter. Suddenly, they brought
Everything
the kingmakers back,
yeah,
and things changed.
Yeah.
And people of Kano took to the streets. Houses were burned, people were killed. Sanusi was turbaned inside the government house. In fact, there's a hall called Coronation Hall in Kano, inside government house. That was where he was turbaned. And he operated from government house for some time because people were angry.
Yeah.
Today, we have a situation in which Kwankwaso has restored him to that position. Sanusi is back. I don't think going to court will stop anything, because they will point to the fact that he too went to court and Ganduje didn't listen. I think that it is in the interest of the traditional institution to keep themselves far away from politics. Kingmakers should respect themselves and not allow themselves to be used the way politicians use them. Because it's all politics that we are seeing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves.
Barefaced politics.
It's all politics. And I'm happy that there is peace in Kano. People have refused to kill one another the way it happened that last time. Because when the ruling class, the well-heeled class, the limousine driving people, when they are quarreling amongst themselves, it makes sense for the poor man to just fold his arm and be looking at them. Don't make yourself a guinea pig for anybody. Don't put your life at risk fighting for people that they care little about you.
Yeah.
So I'm extremely happy.
No sense.
Every time I'm asking, oh, Kano is peaceful, they say, yes, Kano is peaceful. I'm happy about that. In fact, on the day Governor Yusuf lost at the appeal court, I was entering Kano that day. And I saw there was peace. I said, this is really good. Because I was thinking that people will start killing themselves. I don't think it makes sense for that to happen in this matter. This matter, in my view, it has happened. Things that you don't expect happen in our country. But it's not everything that we should resort to violence over. Yeah. Because, look, these are brothers, as I've explained to you, brought up in the same palace, in the same house. And look at the way politicians came into their midst.
We are told by scientists that blood is thicker than water, 6 times thicker.
Yes. You know how painful it will be. Ado Bayero's son was the choice of the kingmakers.
Yeah.
You had it overturned. The person who benefited from the overturning was removed. Another Ado Bayero's son, rather than Sanusi, that won at that time, was brought to take his place. Sanusi is the present Chiroma Kano. First son is the first son of Ado Bayero. Now his own younger brother took that place. You chased him away again and brought back Sanusi. I mean, politicians we've seen this kind of thing. I mean, we've seen people deposed. But we have to be careful. What if another governor comes down and sends Sanusi packing? Is that how we want to move on?
Jami, we've been told, I'm sure you know this, they say in politics there are no desperate situations but desperate men. And the warning to politicians is be careful of the problem you don't see coming.
Yeah, Gide has summarized it, and we are seeing the power play between Kwakwanso and Ganduje. It has nothing to do with Yusuf or even Sanusi and Adebayo. It is the power play between Kwakwanso and Ganduje. A little bit similar to what happened in 1996 in Sokoto. I mean, when Abacha felt confronted by Ibrahim Dasuki in 1996.
And he kicked him.
He kicked him. He was deposed. So that's why the traditional institutions should be very, very careful the way they interfere, the kind of politics they play. That's it. SLS, as we call him in the banking sector, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, very vocal, very outspoken. I mean, he was constantly criticizing
the establishment,
especially Ganduje. And then Ganduje set up a probe panel to probe the resources that was going into his...
the House of Assembly.
They got the House of Assembly to probe him. And before you know it, he was deposed. So now the same House of Assembly has been used now to reinstate him and depose Aminu Ado Abayero. So it's like a roller coaster. But it is not good for the traditional institution, especially in the North.
Yeah.
That institution is highly revered. We should not be dragging it on the ground like this.
Jami, I beg to say traditional institutions across the country.
Yes, across the country, but then you see this happening more in the North. You know, in the southern part, traditional rulers are not deposed because of their involvement in politics. Okay. Rather, probably because they were not properly selected, maybe through the courts. Not for, I mean, it's almost unheard of that you will see a first-class traditional ruler just being disposed because of politics. Because this one is pure politics. It's pure politics, and I hope they won't continue to use politics to desecrate the highly revered traditional institution. It doesn't speak well of our tradition. It's not good.
I fear for the traditional institution in Kano. Because growing up, we respected the Emir of Kano so much. But they tried their best not to stay away from politics. The Emir of Kano was so highly respected, and was the later Adebayo was an embodiment of tradition.
Okay, I remember.
I was correspondent in Kano for about 7 years. I never caught the then Emir of Kano speaking English. And my first award given to me by my colleagues as journalists, I received from the Emir of Kano in 1997. You will never hear him speaking English. And some of his friends from foreign lands, because he was in the foreign service, he was a diplomat. Some of his friends would visit him, People like Jesse Jackson was a very good friend of the late Emir of Kano,
Okay.
Ado Ibrahim. But he will receive him, will be at the event. You will never catch him speaking
Wow.
English.
Yeah.
Never.
As a tradition.
Yes, never. He will get someone to translate, not because he cannot speak English.
Yeah.
He had friends amongst Yorubas and other, but at least there must be a way in which he was communicating with them. But the point I'm making is they kept that tradition strong.
Yeah, sacred.
Yeah.
And sacred. Look at Alaafin Oyo, the same thing. They value the tradition so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
You know, and it will never allow you to desecrate the tradition. So my fear now is going into the future, what will happen?
So
Even,
otherwise, the coming days will be very interesting in Kano.
coming days, the coming years,
Yeah.
because of the institution. Because even Kwankwaso was interviewed on BBC, or one of the foreign Hausa
Service.
yes, and he said the interviewer said, "Kowane governor, they chire Sarkin Kano, that any governor that comes in, given what has happened, will feel like removing the governor of Kano and put his own." He's trying to say a bad precedent had been set. So, one also said, sooner the Gaskia, the people who are saying, Kowane governor, they chire Sarkin Kano isa nasa. Because he was told that this is what people are saying, that any governor that comes is likely to remove the king and put his own. He now said, sooner the Gaskia, Ama Waifara, who started it, referring to Ganduje.
Wow.
He's saying that he is not ruling out the possibility of that happening, you know. Also, as a politician, he's an incredible politician. You can't place him as a person, you know. And he's a very dangerous politician. He said, yes, that those guys were right in saying anybody coming in as Kano governor may feel like removing the king and putting his own person.
His own, yeah.
He said, so now the guys care. That those saying that they are saying the truth. But Waifara, who started it, was referring to Ganduje. So he's not ruling out that possibility, but he's merely saying, well, we didn't start it. Isn't that incredible to hear? We are not ruling out the possibility of someone else coming and removing Sanusi, but who started it? That's what Kwankwaso is saying.
Okay.
So, and we know that in this, as Majid said, it's not Abba Kabir Yusuf that is doing this. It's the governor.
Yeah.
The unofficial governor of Kano is Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso.
Yeah.
Okay then.
It is
All right.
what he wants. It is what he wants that gets done. So we just we're waiting to see what happens in the coming days.
Very interesting days ahead for Kano. All right then.